Manchester City has always been known as one of the most dominant teams in football. But last season was not easy for them. Injuries, poor performances, and unexpected defeats shook the team's confidence. Now, with a fresh mindset and a new tactical approach, Pep Guardiola has brought City back into strong title contention. In this video, we will see how Manchester City changed their style, rebuilt their momentum, and once again became one of the most dangerous teams in the league. Before we begin the video, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any upcoming football analysis and exciting content. Manchester City are once again looking strong and confident. People who watch their recent matches can see that the team has brought back its energy. Even Pep Guardiola seems happier and more relaxed because his players are showing hunger again. Some critics still say City's football is boring because of their passing style, but at the same time they admit that when City start playing like this, it usually means they are again fighting seriously for the league title. Many analysts believe that if Manchester City continue building momentum, they can become very dangerous toward the end of the season because they have experience and know how to handle pressure. Last season was not easy for Manchester City. In fact, the 2024 to 2025 season was one of their most difficult periods in recent history. Pep himself described it as a season of survival for a team that had become used to winning almost everything. This was frustrating after winning several Premier League titles in recent years. Suddenly, they were fighting just to secure a Champions League spot. For most clubs, that would still be a good achievement, but for Manchester City, the standards are much higher. During that difficult season, the team lost matches they normally would have won easily. There were embarrassing defeats and unexpected collapses in games where they had strong leads. These losses did more than just cost points, they also damaged the players' confidence. Pep Guardiola, who is usually calm, looked extremely stressed. It was clear that he was not comfortable with losing so often because he had become used to winning almost every week. Many teams also started believing they could beat Manchester City. Clubs like Arsenal, Bournemouth, and Brighton took advantage of City's weaker form. Once opponents sense weakness, they become more confident. And that is exactly what happened. Instead of dominating matches like before, City struggled to control games consistently. Injuries were one of the biggest reasons behind this decline. Rodri's absence was especially damaging. He is not just an important midfielder, but also a player who controls the rhythm of the game. When he missed matches earlier, City often lost those games. Without him, there was no proper replacement who could defend, distribute the ball, and maintain balance in midfield the same way. His role as the single pivot was extremely difficult to fill. Erling Haaland also faced recurring injury problems, which weakened City's attack. Without a fully fit striker and without Julian Alvarez available as backup, the team lacked a strong finishing presence. Kevin De Bruyne, another key player, spent long periods injured as well. This was a major blow because his creativity and assists have been essential in previous title-winning seasons. When De Bruyne is in form, he can completely change a game within minutes. At the same time, some senior players who had been reliable for years started showing signs of decline. Experienced names like Gundogan, Kyle Walker, and Bernardo Silva were not performing at their usual high level during certain parts of the season. Pep continued trusting them because of their history and experience, but this also showed hesitation in fully transitioning to the next generation of players. In a league that is becoming more athletic and fast, relying too heavily on aging players created problems. Phil Foden's sudden drop in performance was another surprising factor. He had previously been one of the best players in the league and often carried the team during difficult periods. But during that bad season, he looked far from his usual self. There were only brief moments where he regained form, but overall he did not have the same impact. When a player who was once the team's main difference maker struggles, it becomes even harder for the team to win consistently. However, that difficult season seems to have helped the team mentally. Sometimes constant winning can reduce motivation, but experiencing losses can bring hunger back. Pep himself admitted that those setbacks were necessary. Now the players appear more focused and determined again. In the current season, Manchester City look much stronger. Foden has regained confidence and is again scoring goals. Haaland is back to scoring regularly. Jeremy Doku has become one of the most exciting players, creating problems for defenders with his speed and dribbling. New additions like Nico Gonzalez are helping stabilize midfield, and even showing similarities to Rodri's role, although Rodri remains unmatched. One of the biggest changes behind City's improvement is Pep Guardiola's tactical adaptation throughout his career. Pep has always been known for strict positional play, where players maintain specific spaces on the pitch. His system focused on structure, ensuring that players did not overcrowd certain areas. This helped his teams keep possession and control matches. Recently, however, his approach has become more flexible. Instead of always dominating possession, City sometimes allow opponents to have the ball and then attack quickly. In some matches, players cluster closer together in central areas rather than spreading out widely. This attracts defenders and opens space for forwards like Haaland to make runs behind the defense. A key example of this new style is how Jeremy Doku is being used. Traditionally, Doku is a winger who stays wide and takes on defenders in 1-versus-1 situations, but now he often moves into central positions, acting partly as an attacking midfielder. This confuses opponents because they do not know whether to mark him tightly or hold their defensive shape. At one moment he appears in the middle, and seconds later he is back on the wing. Doku's ability to move between positions creates space for other players. His quick acceleration over short distances makes him dangerous in tight areas. Even though his final pass is not always perfect, his movement disrupts defensive organization. When he plays centrally, he has more passing options around him, which increases City's attacking threat. Statistics also show how effective he has been. In one match, he not only scored, but also completed many dribbles, created chances, and won multiple duels. Performances like this demonstrate his growing influence within the team. His confidence is clearly rising, and he thrives when given freedom by the coach. Pep's willingness to allow players freedom reflects his evolving philosophy. He still keeps core principles, but he adjusts tactics based on the strengths of his squad. This flexibility makes Manchester City harder to predict. Instead of relying on one fixed system, they now rotate positions quickly, use short, fast passes, and overload central areas. The midfield combinations this season have been particularly impressive. Quick passing sequences allow City to break defensive lines before opponents can react. Players like Doku, Foden, and O'Reilly often move in opposite directions, forcing defenders to make difficult decisions about who to mark. This constant movement creates openings that attackers exploit. Speed of passing is another important factor. The ball moves so quickly that defenders struggle to adjust in several matches. City created scoring opportunities within seconds. Through short one-touch combinations, wingers moving inside also help create numerical advantages in midfield, making it easier to progress the ball forward. Manchester City's comeback comes from Pep Guardiola adapting his tactics, blending youth with experience and creating a faster, more flexible team that is once again becoming a serious threat. Manchester City's recent journey shows that even the most successful teams face difficult periods. Pep Guardiola used those challenges as motivation to improve and adapt his tactics. With young players stepping up, experienced stars regaining form, and a more flexible style of play, City looks strong once again. This comeback is not just about winning matches, but about rebuilding confidence and hunger. If they maintain this momentum, they could easily finish the season competing for major trophies. Share the video, comment who you think will win the Premier League, and stay subscribed for our next breakdown of another top team's tactics.